Welcome friends to another r/EntitledParents video. Did you know one of the best ways to prove you're not entitled is to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below? That said, our first story of the day is by Aggressive Princess. Entitled Mother-in-Law insults my baby name choice. I, 27-year-old female, am pregnant with my first child with my husband, 29-year-old male. We still haven't decided on a first name for our child, but I made the choice, which my husband wholeheartedly supports, to give her the middle name of a deceased friend of mine whom I loved very much. My dear mother-in-law visited us over the weekend and not only trashes our home, but pays me no mind at all during her entire visit. All she does is fuss over how my husband's going to be a dad and she's going to be a grandma, ignoring the woman literally carrying her grandchild. The most interaction she's had with me so far is barking orders at me. On Sunday night during dinner, however, after she insulted my cooking, she turned to my husband and said, "So dear, what name are you going to give the baby?" I piped up since I'm fed up with her acting like my husband's the one carrying her grandkid. "Well, Mrs. X, we haven't decided on a first name yet, but her middle name will be so-and-so, the aforementioned friend's name, in honor of one of my best friends who died a few years back. If you have any suggestions for her first name, we'd be more than happy to hear them." This woman turns and gives me the dirtiest look I've ever received in my life. She proceeds with a long, stupid rant. First of all, why was I not informed that you'd already made a choice regarding my granddaughter's name? Did you even consult my husband when you decided to give the baby that name? Look, I'm sure your friend was a great person, but I don't approve of the name at all. I'm sorry, the person may have been nice, but the name isn't nice at all. Instead of honoring the girl by naming my grandbaby after her, why don't you honor her by raising the child to be a good, religious, pious lady? Oh wait, you can't, I suppose. You're a lazy, good-for-nothing, useless junkie. You're the opposite of what a mom should be. I'm ashamed that you're carrying my grandchild. At this point, I left and cried up in my room. From what I heard, my husband yelled at her for what she said and kicked her out. As of now, I've blocked her on everything and had my husband withdraw ourselves from Christmas dinner with his side of the family. The whole ordeal also reminded me of the trauma of losing the friend I mentioned. I really hope my daughter doesn't inherit anything from that awful woman. Can you believe somebody has the nerve to even say that to somebody else to their face? Even if the grandma did believe all that stuff, who was actually rude enough to just say that? Do you guys think in this situation, it would be completely acceptable to go no contact with that mother-in-law completely until they specifically apologize for it? If they ever would? Let's say they did apologize. Is it worth even trying to redeem a relationship with somebody who went and said all that to your face? I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. Our next story is by Mobo Lover, entitled Mom Demanded a Refund After Her Son Ate Ice Cream with Nuts in It. I was about 17 working at this undisclosed ice cream place, and this woman orders ice cream for her 3 kids. I can't remember all the ice cream she ordered, but what matters is she ordered ice cream with pralines in it for her 1 son and did not mention any allergies. Anyways, after they're finished, she comes storming up to the counter with an empty cup. She calls me over and says, "What the heck are these?" pointing at these little tan pieces at the bottom of the cup. I say, "Those are pralines, ma'am." Her face twisted into the angriest and meanest expression I've seen on a woman. She begins shouting, "Are those nuts? My son has a peanut allergy. You're telling me you served my son peanuts?" And I reply, "Those aren't peanuts, they're pralines. I'm sorry, but we need to know beforehand if someone has a peanut allergy because we cross-contaminate a lot. If you need, I can call 911 for you." She stops me and says, "No, I want a refund." I'm a little taken aback because if your child has a nut allergy, wouldn't you want someone to call 911? I reply, "I'm sorry, but due to our policy, I can't give you a refund since he ate the whole thing, but I can call 911. She gets even angrier and starts screaming some variation of, "He didn't know there were nuts in it. My son might die and you won't even give me a refund." And she keeps repeating that she wants a refund and that we're killing her son. I ask her if she has an EpiPen, and she says no, and I recommend her to go to a doctor if it's that serious of an allergy, but she keeps saying she wants a refund for all the ice cream first. My manager, who was in the back, finally comes out and asks about the situation. The lady explains, and my manager, as a mother, starts yelling at the lady, "If your son is having an allergic reaction, then why are you standing here demanding a refund? Take him to the ER." Which, by the way, the lady's kids were by themselves at the table. The lady replies, "I'm taking him to the ER as soon as I get my refund." which was like less than $15. Like, you're more concerned about $15 than your son's life? My manager also asked if she has an EpiPen, and the lady says no. I also let my manager know that at some point during this altercation, the lady never told me about her son having a nut allergy. So my manager eventually says to her, after some back and forth, that since you didn't let us know beforehand, it's not our responsibility, so we can't give you a refund. I recommend you leave and take your kid to the freaking ER. The lady finally gives up and grabs her children and says that she's never coming here again since we don't care about our customers. This whole interaction lasted about 10 to 15 minutes, which should have escalated this child's condition to really bad, for lack of better terms. She yells at her child that now she's got to take him to the ER because he ate nuts, and we never saw her again. OP's first instinct was, do you want me to call 911? And you're saying they don't care about the customers? I think as far as this story goes, it's not that they don't care about their customers, it's that in this case, the customer didn't care about the customer enough. If you're allergic to anything, especially nuts, if you're going to a restaurant or a fast food place, you're gonna want to mention that you have a nut allergy. Otherwise, you're kind of playing nut allergy Russian roulette. Our next story is by the Gamer Guy 11, entitled Aunt Took My Cousin Who Had COVID to Small Family Get-Together. This story only took place about 5 days ago, so my aunt brought her child to the family get-together at my other aunt's house who recently had a newborn. So my cousin who had COVID was around everyone without a mask and kissing the newborn, and my sister was around her but didn't catch COVID until later, when she might have caught it from my little sister yesterday. But the part that makes this 10 times worse is that my aunt came to the party knowing she might have COVID and not telling anyone. So at the time of us finding out she had COVID, we were at a Dave & Buster's. So my mom was crying and ranting at the fact that we might have gotten COVID. Because she and my little sister were feeling bad all day, we went straight to a COVID rapid testing thing, and we all tested negative. But we found out the test wasn't very accurate, so they went again, but to a non-rapid test, and found out that my little sister, dad, mom, and probably big sister, because she was having chest pain, got infected. So now we have to quarantine for the rest of my birthday, Christmas, and New Year because my aunt is too stupid and irresponsible to mention her kid might have COVID. They went to a party where a newborn baby was, knowing that they might have COVID. It takes a real special kind of jerk to know that they've been exposed to the virus and still willingly go to a family get-together where there's young children and even newborn babies, and even the adults. Nobody deserves to catch COVID, and if they don't care enough to stay away from their family, imagine how many other people they're infecting by going out into the world. Our next story is by Milka121, entitled Mother Crying in the Next Room because she didn't get a present she wanted. It's a fairly normal thing for us in the family to get dad to choose the present, and me and my brother just pay for it. We did that, but apparently it doesn't count as a present, and now mother is wailing in the bedroom. I got told off by my aunt. Why me? Isn't that by logic my brother being responsible too? And apparently I ruined Christmas by not buying an extra present. Bonus round, I'm not close with my family. I try to see them as little as possible. I'm a trans dude and they hate anything queer. The fact that I'm willing to give a present to a woman that tells me to get pregnant and get a boyfriend already, in response to me trying to explain my queerness, is already a big thing. Guess next Christmas I'll just spend alone. Bonus update, father got her to calm down and talk to him a bit. Turns out she's mad at me because of how it made her look to get only one present and because I didn't wear a proper dress. Well, first of all, they're just a jerk for not respecting your identity. It's nice that you guys collaborated on a gift. If they had certain expectations going into it that maybe differed from what they usually got, which it appears the regular thing was for all three of them to collaborate, buy the present together, then maybe she should have been proactive and mentioned, hey, could you guys all get me a present this year? I know it sounds selfish, but you won't be disappointed and you'll get 3 presents, probably. Or you could just be entitled and wail when, surprise, they keep doing the same thing they've always done. This next story is by Nightlight Midnight. My entitled family wanted me to use my Make-A-Wish on them. Note, this was when I was 8 years old. I was born with brain damage. Because of this, I have a lot of health problems. When I was 8, my health declined quickly and the doctor did not think I'd live to the end of the year. Make-A-Wish got in contact with my mom and she told me. The rest of my dad's side of the family found out quickly and started to get excited about going to Disney. I chose meeting the actor of Draco from Harry Potter. When I told my family I didn't want to go to Disney because there was nothing for me to do, I can't ride roller coasters and I don't like Disney princesses or characters, but they didn't care. I could not go a day without hearing, "Your sisters always wanted to go to Disney World and you're robbing them of it," or "You are our sister, you're supposed to love us." Only one of my sisters was sad I was dying, or this one was my favorite. "You're going to die anyway, what does it matter? Let your sisters have this, you're going to be on your deathbed wondering why everyone hates you." It became too much, watching my mother cry, holding me, and feeling my other family hates me. So I told my mom that the wish should go to someone that can use it for what they want to, not their family. My family made themselves the victims, and for a couple years after this they would tell me they hate me and how they wish I'd die. But then when I start to become successful, they start to love me. But I ignore them, working on moving out and cutting contact with any of them but for the family that I know love me. Isn't that literally heartbreaking to hear? If you're any of that family that legitimately cares, seeing this kid in the hospital and hearing them say it should go to somebody that can use it how they want to, I think that would be absolutely heart-shattering. I'm glad OP recovered, and I'm glad OP has such a good mindset on focusing on only the people that show they care about OP. Our next story is by Mama Red 8, Merry Christmas for my toxic in-laws. Today we went to my in-laws for my baby's 6-month-old first Christmas celebration with matching PJs. This was public information and encouraged others to match with us. Instead, my mother-in-law got my son a completely different outfit to wear. Father-in-law assumed he would help my child open his very first gifts that were from everyone. He did not. And last but not least, we got into the same argument we have the last 2 visits because they don't call my child by his name and labeled all of his presents by his middle name and got him customized items with their preferred name. Considering the baby is 6 months old and won't remember any of the presents, would they be a jerk to just kind of toss all the stuff that they don't like? Namely, the stuff customized with the name that they don't want their baby being called? Or is it kind of an overreaction? I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Our next story is by Meep the Meep. I, 22-year-old female, accidentally triggered some moms on Instagram and got into an argument that won't end. So there was a post on Instagram about the new Spider-Man movie and how a baby started crying, and I commented that I don't get why people feel entitled enough to bring their baby there who won't remember a thing and just ruin people's experiences they paid for, cause newsflash, it's loud, it's noisy, of course the baby will start to cry. I don't know why, but they kinda picked my comment to complain. Don't judge people's situations. I don't, but I want to watch that movie in peace. Some don't have a sitter. Okay, and? Then wait until it's available on demand, I guess? You gotta expect babies in public places. Yeah, but this public place cost people a load of money. They waited 2 years for this movie, and not for your baby crying. You're entitled if you get people kicked out for it. I never did. That was the post. Like, it just takes a bit of decency. I get how hard it can be to parent and doing free time stuff, but that doesn't give you a free pass for everything. Also, I don't know how it is for you guys, but cinemas over here are expensive as freak. And I'm one of those people who don't have much money for freedoms, so it's like a little luxury. I don't go smoking on playgrounds either. Everything has its place. I'm too tired to argue and it's wasted energy, but kudos, it didn't go dirty. What do you guys think? Should you be ashamed of ever bringing a baby to a movie theater? Do you think it should be practical movie theater law or policy that there's no babies in these showings? I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. And our final story of the day is by Feisty89. Husband's mom euthanized cat for easier Christmas. I'm still a bit shocked, but I found out last night that my husband's mom euthanized her kitty. Apparently they were very worried. It started acting out and they were scared she was going to attack people. Not even a few days ago, she posted online that it had been 1 year since adopting the kitten. I know they're expecting people over for Christmas. The thing is, they have an entire basement suite that's her office/home business. It's just 2 of them and was 2 cats. It's a large house. I did notice the animal does have anxiety, but death? Because 6 people are coming over? Normally I would rant to my mother about this, but when I was 15, she euthanized my cat for peeing in the house. The cat was 10, and she said because it was so old, it only knew a life with us and should be put down. I came home one day and the furniture was tossed aside, no cat. My mother tells me that the vet didn't want to do it, but with lots of convincing put the cat down. So I guess I have some unresolved issues. Anyway, this should be an interesting family dinner. I'm sorry, but if that was a relative of mine, they would be cut out of my life and told very bluntly why. And I don't blame OP for having unresolved issues because if my parents did that to my cat, I would never forgive them for that. What kind of sadistic evil person goes, "Oh, this pet's annoying," or "Oh, this pet's going to be an issue. Let's euthanize it"? That's some sick stuff and it kind of hurts my heart to even think about it. The cat sure didn't deserve that. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So of all these stories that I've read for you today, which was your personal favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.